Welcome to class 23 of Python programming. We'll continue with bit of lambda, then we'll go to map, reduce, and filter functions here. Now, if you remember, this is kind of recap for you. You write lambda, print hello if you want to see it. So you get hello here. The other way is you give a name to this anonymous function, lambda function, and then you write the name here. And then you have to write brackets. This is the functional value. It's like f of something. We are not giving any value here because this is a string. We just want to print this one. There is no number, no argument here, right? So will not give anything. You are just printing. If you write Z, you will get the function location. So these are two different ways. Sometimes we talk about one-line functions in Python, even one-line functions in machine learning. So right in one line, we'll try to get the output, ML output using sklearn, regression and all that. How it's possible? One line means they talk about 5-6 lines. It's not actually one line, but they say one line saying that others are collecting data, writing some way. Okay, you will see, I will show you some of them. Now let's go here to the second one. Lambda x print x square. Now we are squaring one variable. Okay, see brackets are here. Similarly 13, one line. Whatever function you write, you put a bracket here, then you write it here so that there will be no problem. So all are same. Lambda we have written. Here there are two variables. Here there is one variable, x square, x power x multiplied by x. So we have not given names here. You give a name here, you replace by the name, that's all. Okay. So this is 5, here 5, 2 multiplied. We have written print here, that's why we are getting the execution. Okay. So these are the same here. These are the same, not different. So if you don't want, you can cut also everything, because in any case you need to write. We're not getting printout. So we'll not write those. Don't write more. It will look complicated every time. This much only. Okay. 1 and 2. Now this is the third one. Here we have defined a function. AB are already there. If locally variables are not defined, it will take from here. You must be knowing that. This is normal function. Okay. And this is lambda function. AB, A plus B. Want to add. Okay. The name G is here. And we are giving values 10 and 2 to this one. So if you see, if you run it here, you get different answers, because here when you enter, what will happen is first A and B will be assigned 1 and 2. With comma, you can write many variables. Then what will happen when you go to the next line, line by line execution, first A and B will be assigned numbers 1 and 2. Then what will happen? It will not be able to enter. Okay, so control will be transferred. This line, there is nothing here, right? So after this line, control will be transferred to this. Here there is a function call. Through this function call, it will go here. It's not like here, then this one, then this one, then this one. It's not like this way. What will happen is first A and B will be assigned numbers 1 and 2. Then control will come here. It will not be able to enter the function, only through function call. From here, there is a function call. It will enter the function. It will see whether A and B are defined locally or not. If not, it will take global values. So 3 will be printed. Coming to the function here, a plus b, it will try to add a and b. So when you are sending numbers 10 and 2, even if you send numbers here, you have to write a and b here. Like we have written here, you have to write. Then you can send through this also. You must be knowing. It's not a new thing. If you write two values here or any number you write, okay. Or here you define. This is the traditional way. And this is one line lambda function. You can give a name if you want or not. So 10 and 2, if you supply, 10 and 2 will be added. Now my question is, suppose I will not write this. Only I will write this. Then what will happen? You can try, run and try. See the error. Missing two required positional arguments A and B. So you have to give A and B, then only it will be able to print. Okay. I can write Control Z also. Now this is one line function, we say. Two variables are here. You are finding x square plus y square. It's a recap. It's already done. Now we'll try to learn map function. This is the first one of today's class. The three things we will learn. Though I have minimum examples now. I had a lot of examples when I taught last time, but not required. In the subsequent classes, I'll teach you zip function and unzip, okay? That is useful at times. And also we'll discuss pickle file. Pickle file in one class. Pickling. Pickling is very important concept here. Later it will be very useful. We are now here. Yes. So I've defined a traditional function. Okay. I want to add the same number to itself. Now I've written numbers here. And then result is a variable here. Map function I want to apply. So here I've written add, add. Add is a function. See, this is a function here. And the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, that will come from here. Add means what will happen? It will add this to this. Okay. So if you run these two, 1 plus 1, you will get 2. 2 plus 2, you will get 4. 3 plus 3, you will get 6. 4 plus 4, you get 8. Without using map function, can you do this? That is my question. Even lambda function is not here. Okay. We'll bring lambda also, but before bringing lambda, you use directly map function with traditional functions. Okay. So add is a function we have defined. It's our defined function. You can change the name also. Add, you can write if you want. Sometimes what happens, I wrote here subtract. Then immediately I asked the students what will be the answer. They said 0, 0, 0, 0. How you get 0, 0, 0, 0? If you write subtract, right? If I don't write, it will not anyway give any value because subtract is not here. This is a function. Okay. You have not defined here. If I run this, I'm not getting 0, 0, 0, 0. Subtract means you have to write a sign. So it's according to the name, right? Sometimes if they are absent-minded, 0. That means subtraction means even if you write add here and write minus here, what will happen? It will subtract because you have written the add function meaning here. This is the add function. Okay. So this work will be executed. Okay. So let me replace it by plus. I've defined this way. this number will be added to the same one. That means 1 will be added to 1, 2 will be added to 2, 3 will be added to 3, 4 will be added to 4. Now, this result, the final one, you can print. Okay. So when you print this one, you will get the answer. Remember, every time you have to write list here. Suppose you want to get in the form of a set, you can write set here. If you try to get in the form of a tuple, you can write tuple here. Something you have to write. Okay. If you don't write list, you will not get. Because whatever you get in written, that you can't print directly. Okay. That is something you can remember. If you want, you can write type and you can check what is that result. It will show, and why you are not able to print directly, you will be able to know. It's a map class. Okay. The class is map here. You will not be able to print it directly. You have to write something here. Even if you remember, we write, let me write here instead of this one. You can check this one as well. Okay, the object you are getting, it's equivalent to printing this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you can't print, I mean range function, not this one. Suppose I write print a range function. Range I am getting. Okay, so if you write print list, how many brackets? Is it okay? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you have to write list here. You can't print range function directly. These are certain things you can remember by practice. Now you have to write list here. If you want to get in the form of a list, you have to write list here. Now you might ask me what I can write here. See, I've taken one list. I can write a tuple here. Any iterable. I'm not writing the general form of a map function because we'll not try to learn it theoretically. What you can write means you just remember. If you go to the definition of map function, you see what you can write here, what you can write here. But I'm not doing that way. Just remember, a function you can write any iterable here. Iterable means something which can be iterated over, right? Iterable and iterators are there. I'm not going to those now. So any tuple or function, any list or maybe set you can write here. It's not a problem. Now, let's not worry about other types. Concentrate on list here. I've written a list and I wanted to get it and I got it twice the same number. Suppose I write 10, 20, 30, 40. I will get 10 plus 10 here, 20 plus 20 here, 30 plus 30 here, 40 plus 40 here. But why to use map for that? Is there any other alternative you can get that way? What I want to know from you is, if I write this one here and I multiply 2, or I write numbers plus numbers. Okay. If you get this way, why to bring a map function? You define another function, do all this. What is the requirement of all this? Can't you do this way? Yeah. Can you do this way?
So no,
No, why not?
because it will concatenate rather than adding with each element.
Okay. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because this is a programming language in base Python, we can do mathematics. Even in R programming also. If you try to write this, then also you will not get, right? 2 means twice it will take. Whatever way we want, we will not get. That's how we manage those things in NumPy. Okay. Here it's not possible. That's why we have to do this way here. Till now we are in Python. So NumPy is not there. Otherwise, using NumPy you can do always. So we have to define a map function. Mapping means multiple things you can do at the same time. Suppose you want to add 2 numbers and someone says, no, I want to add 50 numbers. You can write a range function here. Instead of a list, 0 to 50 you can write, or 51. Then all numbers you want to add one by one. Then 50 times you have to do. Because we are in Python, we have not gone to NumPy by now. You think that way. Okay. So you have to use a map function. Now we'll bring lambda function here. Instead of defining separately, see now I have two boxes, this one and this one. Once only here, I want to do all. So instead of writing separately defining, the add function work will be done here. Here add is a function. So that work will be done here using lambda function. Lambda x plus x. Okay. So in 3 lines you get a result. Now we have 2. We have numbers and numbers. We have 2 here. Numbers 1, numbers 2. Then this function is there. Okay. And now I have 2 here. Here numbers 1 iterable, 1 list here, numbers 2. And instead of adding once, we want to add so many times. So that means 1 plus 4, 5, 2 plus 5, 7, 3 plus 6, 9 you will get. So you have to bring y, another variable, and you have to write to list with comma, you can write, not a problem. We have also list expression. We'll go to that in the next class. Now here, this is functions I've written multiply 2 things. Okay, 2 things are here. So 2 things I've written here. And what multiply will do? It will multiply. What add function will do? It will add. So 2 functions I've collected, and these functions here we have 2. Okay. So multiply, add, both are there. Instead of 1, I have 2 here. Now for I in range 5, value is, map function. If you don't want to confuse yourself, you can write this way. Because always we wrote that way. Okay. If you run it, what will happen? 0, 1, 2 multiplied by 2, 3 multiplied by 3, multiply work it will do. And the second one here, that will do the add work, addition here. You have to add 2 numbers. Okay, 0 plus 0, 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 4 plus 4. That comes from here, range 5. Okay, range 5 means I will take 0 to 4. And then those things are multiplied here, added here. 2 things also you can do. These are certain things not immediately required to you, but you have to know whenever required. However, if you are doing data science and machine learning, mostly this is not required. But at places, people write codes. If you are going through other codes, that might be confusing to you. So knowing certain things is not bad. Extra things I can say if you don't want to be a programmer. Okay. Those who are doing coding, they have to know all the types. Because what will happen if you read someone else code, you will not be able to follow if you don't know most of the things which are used elsewhere. Now, here, this is a list and the same map we have written and L we have written here. Instead of a function here, see, normally, wherever we have written, this is a function, either a lambda function or our defined function, okay? Now, instead of a function, we have written list here, okay? How this how this works actually, similar to this one. See, for one, you need not use map function. If you want to add one to one, you need not write a map function. You want to do things simultaneously within the within an iterable. Okay, there are so many. This is an iterable. So if you want to do for many, you are using map. 1 plus 1 you can do directly. Similarly, here if you want to separate, okay, separately you want to know from this 3 separate, okay, you want to make a list, all the alphabets you want to write here, then you can do for one, you don't need map, okay, without map also for one you can do. You can, if you write, see, I've written also here, see, SAT anyway you are getting, but within a list, if SAT is there and there are others as well, other elements, other entries, then how can you do that simultaneously? The same thing, whatever you want to see separately, how can you do that simultaneously? That's where map function comes in, okay? And here, instead of writing one, here you write list and the set, whatever name you have given, okay? So the function is list here. Whatever function we use to define our own function, now we are using list there. That is what you need to remember. Now here it will find the length. Length also it was there. We already learned. In strings it can find the length, but because there are more than one, okay? So instead of writing this one separately, giving a name, we have written directly here. Same thing. You don't think that these are different. Numbers we have written. So what you can do is you cut it here and you paste here. Then you don't need numbers, right? And here add function you have written. Instead of writing add function, okay, you can't cut and copy here, but lambda function you can write here. So what I will do is if I go here, because we have a lambda function and you want to write, they say one line code, okay, you write the list here, the iterable is list here. How this one came, okay, then result, okay, you write list result. This line is also not required, okay. We'll check whether you will get it or we have to write a print. Okay. Why not? It should work, right? Let's not worry about that. We write this way and we say it's a one line function. Okay, code is only one line. You can mix up a lot of things. So yeah, they can't assign to function call. Okay. So this one is there, lambda map function. We've written here, right? Yes. This is what we say, one line function. Okay. In one line, you get the answer. But to get to this, you need to write the function in one line, right? And many were in text, in machine learning, data science codes, or maybe in Python codes also. In many places, you see this way. Later, you do some kind of web scraping, or maybe you see in pickling, you have to keep your data, okay, save data to disk, and you can transfer when it will come to deployment and all that. That is required. So if you have a lot of data, you have to pickle it. So there also you see many people, they write this kind of code, lambda function. You are not learning more, but using lambda function makes your code simpler, easier. In few lines you can write. I can say simpler, but in few lines you can write. So this is all about map function. What more we have? Acha, length here. Length you can find. If there is one, that's okay. If there are more, you have to use a map function. This is also not different. 566. Okay, 566. Now let's go to the next one. I've written only one this time so that you will not be confused. You know, this one you need to remember, MAYA. This is very famous, Maya. Most advanced people accept what? People accept, suppose there are marketing people, they bring some product, they market it everywhere. Suppose they want to sell you something which can increase your lung capacity. They will market fast, time and again, here and there on mobile. You see in many places. Okay, you see an equipment, and you see here and there many places. So they use Maya principle, MAYA, most advanced yet acceptable. If something you will not accept, whatever way they will market it, you will not accept it. There is a mindset, okay? We will not accept a new thing. We go to the market, someone says, no, you want for, you ask for some kind of soap, okay? You know, Will or whatever you are using, I don't know. You say for that particular soap, okay? Some kind of detergent also, Surf or whatever, Nirma, Irma, whatever available. If they say, no, I want called torch soap, you will not take it. They will say a lot of thing about that. Okay, no, it's the best one, it's advanced, it's cheap, everything they will say, but you will not bring it. So Maya principle, if you learn, if you write MAYA principle, you will get to know a whole lot of things. Most advanced yet acceptable, they will make it advanced in such a way that you will be able to accept. Similarly here, if you see these things, map, reduce, lambda, so wherever you see codes, you will be able to accept. more than the usefulness for your own work, you will be able to accept the code. Okay. That's why it's important. So once you see, it will not create a problem to you later. Now, this is not the reduce function, unlike map function. It's not there in the Python built-in. So you have to import it, like import math, import random, import statistics. Similarly, you have to import reduce from func tools. It's there. Okay. This is a module, Python module. And so because this is a Python module, you have to write dot math dot, we write math dot py. Similarly, dot you have to write. And here we have written the function, no change. Here we have written an iterable, no change. Okay. The same. If you see this line and this line, there are two actually. Okay. This is another one. These are two things. This is one, this is one. Here I've used a range function. So how reduce function works is, it will add, it will reduce. Suppose you have 5 numbers, it will reduce to 4, to 3, to 1, that way. So will not go how it works within, will not go to that. But remember, reducing means from 4 it will reduce to 3, to 1, that way. Okay. You add these two, you are getting 48. 48, then you add 42, 90, 90 plus 13, that is 93, that way. You run it, you will get the answer 113 you will get if you add all. Here all numbers you want to add, range 1 to 101, you get directly answer here. Okay. So instead of adding, instead of writing a program to add all numbers from 1 to 100, you can write this way. The difference is here, it one by one number with another number will be added, then that number will be added to the next number, and this process will continue till all things are over. You can think this way: 1 plus 2, that is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 10. That way it will add all numbers and you will get here directly. Okay. This is about the reduce one, map reduce, and the last one is filter. Filter is also very useful. We have directly we do that in R. Here we use filter function in R also, we use in many places. Suppose you have numbers here, number list means range -5 to 5, and we want to get only negative numbers. Okay. If you run this one, you get only negative numbers. The positive numbers are not here. Range -5 to 5. Okay. So if you print this one, you will get all. But if you want to get only negative numbers, you will get negative numbers. So instead of writing a separate function using lambda, you write the lambda function here, the first one. And this is your whatever you want to write here. Okay. Here, if you see, we have written one list. Here, range. Now, the range is number list here, this one, and this bracket is for this lambda, because you have written a lambda function. So list you have to write, so another bracket comes. For filter, this one. Okay. Within filter, this whole is there. Two are there as usual. And here in lambda function, you give the condition. Okay. X1 is negative. Those X1 which are negative. So you get negative numbers. It will filter according to this condition. Now here, those numbers you want, when you divide by those numbers, you should get remainder 0. Okay, the remainder is 0 here. Remainder should be equal to 0. Remainder when divided by 2 should be equal to 0. So you get the numbers 2, 4, 6 here. Remainder should be 0 when you divide. That's all. You remember one. You remember this one, this function, filter function, and four things: reduce, map, and lambda. Lambda is the anonymous function that is useful in all the three cases because we need not define function separately this way. There only we can write. So it's very useful. Okay. This is very easy content, I know. We'll have 2 to 3 more classes. We'll try to learn more. For today, class is over. Thank you. I'm ending the class. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.